Hi, morning. How's everything?
Good.
Do we?
Crowded.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. Did we put out those last of those folding chairs?
everything's out that I know of.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna.
Where are
Well,
more?
did we put them out already? I think we put them out already. There were some under. We got at the last minute. We've got chairs in the art gallery, the theater chairs.
Okay, should I have somebody?
I mean, there's.
If you start to run out.
That's where
Okay.
people, and then also alumni can stand. But
There's a
there's
lot
this
of
hot.
alumni.
Oh, it's a hot mic.
Hello? Hi, the boys are about to leave the gym, so be quiet and listen for the bagpipes.
Please be seated. Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, parents, family, friends, and gentlemen of the Woodhall School. Welcome to the 41st Annual Convocation and Commencement Exercises for the Woodhall School. We come together today to celebrate the intellectual, physical, emotional, and spiritual growth of these young men seated before me. We come together today to celebrate 20 young men and their transformation from boys to gentlemen. And we celebrate not an ending, but their commencement, their new beginning. I would like to invite Mr. Tashi Funsak, Dean of School, to offer the invocation.
Can we begin by a short mindfulness practice? If you all can close your eyes, feel your feet touching the floor, and observe your breath. As you observe your breath, any thoughts occur, do not be swayed or follow the thought. Do not reject the thought either. Just be aware that it's thought and bring your attention back to the breath. Observe your breath, coming in, going out. Slowly, you can open your eyes. Thank you. Good morning, the Board of Trustees, faculty and staffs, proud parents here, the visiting alumni, and the young men of the Woodhall School. As we gather here today to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, growth, of these amazing young men graduating today. It's with great honor and humility I stand here before you to offer this invocation. In this intimate and cherished space, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey that has brought them to this significant milestone. From the first day they stepped into this community, they embarked on a journey filled with opportunity for learning, discovery, and personal transformation. Along the way, they have encountered triumphs and challenges, laughter and tears, a moment of clarity and moment of doubt and confusion. But through it all, they have persevered, guided by the core values of our school: respect, integrity, and compassion. Today, as we stand on the threshold of a new chapter in their life, let's take a moment to express our gratitude for the unwavering support and encouragement they have received from their families, adult mentors, and their peers. As they prepare to embark on the next journey of their life, I hope and pray that they carry with them the core values of this community and remain steadfast in their commitment to upholding them. As we bid farewell to them, let's cherish the memories we have created together and bonds of friendship that will endure long after they parted ways. May the road ahead be filled with opportunity for growth, fulfillment, meaningful connections, as may they always remember the lesson they have learned and values they hold dear as they strive to make their mark on the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Funsak. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a really good piano player here today. So please rise and join me in singing America the Beautiful. Please be seated. An impromptu request from the stage. Mr. Korenstein, Mr. Belat, not you, Paul and Max, your dads, would you mind opening the back doors just to let some air in? And it's also helpful for the bagpiper at the end of the ceremony. It's a little tricky, but thank you. Appreciate it. So we have several unique traditions at the Woodhall School for our commencement. And we have two graduation speakers, and they are selected by their classmates, the class of 2024. In a lot of school settings, the salutatorian and the valedictorian are selected based on their academic standing, their grade point average. We do things a little differently. As I said, they're selected by their peers, but the founders of the school, my parents, really took too many years of Latin, so really looking at the etymology of those two words, salutatorian, valedictorian, it's from the Latin salve and vale, which means hello and goodbye. So simply, one of the students, Caden John Miller, will go first as the salutatorian, and then Aiden McKee will go second as the valedictorian. But with that, I'd like to invite Caden to come up and give the salutatorian address.
I think about 10 people told me to speak slowly for this. They pulled me aside, like, remember to speak slowly, remember to speak slowly. And about the 10th time around, I was just like, all right, fine, okay, I will. So a bit of me wants to rush through it now just out of spite. Sorry. Before coming to Woodhall, I was a very lazy person. I did what was always kind of convenient to me in the moment. I didn't really want to do anything beyond the bare minimum. With like sports, I would just I would see signs for sports and I'd go, well, I can just be home instead. I don't want to do sports. With homework, I'd be like, well, if it's late, I'm just not going to turn it in. If it's not a big assignment, I'm not going to do it at all. And with even paying attention to class, especially over COVID, I would just say, well, they can't even see my screen. I'm not going to pay attention at all. I have no obligation to. And that didn't go well, you can imagine. I didn't do very well in middle school and high school because of it. Particularly, I think it kind of reached a head where at one point I was missing around 50 assignments, and I just spent 4 consecutive days awake just trying to get work done so I didn't fail school. Did that, by the way, not fun, don't recommend it. Eventually, though, my parents did suggest that I should go to boarding school, and I kind of thought the idea was a little ridiculous. But I ended up selecting a couple I was interested in, and they suggested to do a tour. I agreed, not because I wanted to get a tour, because I wanted to miss 2 days of school. But I ended up touring Woodhull first. I looked around this place, kind of got a good tour, and I remember getting in the car and spending about a minute like cursing and shouting. I was really frustrated and wasn't really sure why. But I realized, because I actually kind of liked it. It looked like it was going to be a good school. It looked like it would be a good fit. And after a minute, I finally turned to my mom and admitted, I think I have to go here. Sorry, I lost my point. Sorry, gee, I'm sorry about that. I lost my point where I was. Yeah. Going to Woodhull, I still had some of those habits. I still missed some assignments, but gradually from the support I got here, I began to kind of mend those. I actually did turn in my homework every once in a while. I was willing to try new sports. I actually did. The end of my first year here, I ended up doing lacrosse, which is something I never would have even considered at my previous school. And the next year, I ended up doing wrestling. Even with socializing, instead of just waiting to get to my room to play video games, I ended up hanging out with friends, going outside, doing physical activities with friends I didn't really need to. I don't really know why. But I grew accustomed to it, and I began to actually think about it differently. I didn't just do homework because I had to. I did it because I respected the teachers. I wanted to participate in class. I enjoyed doing things with other people. I wanted to impress the coaches. I wanted to actually do well at things, and I kind of had this place to thank for that. I didn't have that mentality coming here at all. I really put a lot of work into things now. I really put a lot of work into wrestling. I put a lot of work into lacrosse. I mean, anyone who's had to suffer through one of my 20-minute finals can attest that I do a little more than the bare minimum when it comes to talking about anything involving Russia or, just Russia generally. Yeah, I'd love to say that that came from me. It came from me kind of wanting to, improve myself and be a better person, but I'd be lying. I have to really thank everyone here. I have to thank the administration for, one, letting me in, and then actually helping me through everything. The teachers and the coaches for helping me with stuff, but also really my peers. It was, I didn't do lacrosse at first because I really wanted to do lacrosse. I did it because my friends suggested I do it because it sounded fun. I really do have to thank everyone here for helping me grow as a person and really just helping me kind of figure myself out. And even the speech, I didn't have it done until last second, and I had roughly three of my classmates and one of my teachers read it over a few times before I really thought it was any good. That's about it. Sorry.
Thank you, Caden. And I would like to invite Aidan McKee to come forward and give the valedictory speech.
Good morning, everybody. Those familiar with me know I don't know when to shut up, so I'll try and keep this short. It was around this time 3 years ago that I was at the lowest point of my life. Personal circumstances combined with lockdowns brought on by a pandemic had left me derelict and stagnating. Even if I didn't recognize it at the time, others around me knew I was capable of so much more than what I was putting forth. My parents, unsure of what to do with me, took the massive and terrifying leap of sending me to the desert of Utah for a hard reset of my life. I hail it as one of the best things to ever happen to me. I hail it as such because it led me to Woodhull, where I stand now, speaking to you as a valedictorian and member of the class of 2024. I won't pretend it's been easy for any one of us. The journeys we undertook were uniquely arduous, and at times felt like hope had evaporated. Each of us, however, made it here. I call it a home amidst the noise of the world around us, a rare bastion in today's complicated and often unforgiving world. Woodhull has been a place where we have been able to mature into confident and capable young gentlemen, a place where we learned endurance in adversity, perseverance in failure, and meaning in struggle. After several years and many a gray hair given to Mr. Woodhull, we are here, graduating. Congratulate yourselves. You've done it. Though the future remains, and always will remain uncertain, I know that we are ready. And I know that we are better equipped than most to venture forth into the next steps of our lives. What we've learned here will lead us to success, navigate us through long nights, and grant us strength on wearying paths. We now advance as prospective engineers and computer scientists, businessmen and wildlife managers, musicians and journalists, tradesmen and athletes, screenwriters and groundskeepers, analysts and writers, but above all, as young men ready to define themselves in the world. We would not be in such a position, however, if it weren't for the innumerable efforts of the faculty and staff of the Woodhall School. It is they who reached out to us when we were lost, they who furnished us with the skills and life lessons we so sorely needed, and they who set us on the paths we now find ourselves walking. For that, they deserve every credit and accolade. So I say to you, all of you, teachers and faculty of the Woodhall School, thank you. On behalf of the class of 2024, thank you. We shall make your deeds immortal through our achievements.
Thank you. Thank you, Caden. Thank you, Aiden. So I want you to go back 40 years, June 1984. If we were in this very place, we'd actually be standing in the middle of the woods. Graduation for the first, 26, 27 years of the school's existence actually took place at the Congregational Church on the Bethlehem Green, because there was no space here at the school to have such a gathering. And so if you could go back to June of 1984, the school had just finished its first year. And there were about a dozen students by year's end and about 4 or 5 graduates. And the founding head of school, Mrs. Woodhall, hi Mom, had the idea of not only recognizing the handful of graduates, but the entire school community, given the intimacy of the community at that time. And so the tradition was born of recognizing every single student at the Woodhall School. And I would argue that intimacy is still very much alive in our community. So that tradition began of recognizing each student, and it tends to be a little playful. There are some inside jokes, parents and families and friends, that you might not laugh at because you might not get, and then there are some jokes that you might not laugh at because they're not funny. And we will begin. Thank you. At the beginning of the school year, I was planning on naming one of the bathroom stalls in this boy's honor. Then I thought to put his study hall carol in the bathroom stall so at least he'd get his homework done. But a funny thing happened as the year progressed. He progressed and learned the value of putting one foot in front of the other, both figuratively and literally. He developed more stamina and increased engagement in all areas of his school life, culminating in the best sports season of his 3 years at Woodhall with lacrosse this spring. He leaves Woodhall more balanced, thoughtful, and above all, happier. I will miss him, but I know he will gain more insight and wisdom in Idaho next year. Congratulations to Harry Doherty.
Go back in my seat? Or?
Yeah, you can. All right. Yeah. It all started when this native New Yorker did a shimmy and shake for Mr. Noonan, who was playing a bitter old St. Nick at the holiday party. He developed a preternatural affinity for all things related to the enticing Mr. Noonan. So much so that Mr. Noonan recently filed a restraining order against this student. All boundary-pushing joking aside, hilarity and hijinks followed this young man wherever he went this year. When adult mentors like adult Mr. Noonan, it was based on respect and gratitude. And with his peers, it was based on a burgeoning camaraderie. He learned important lessons on Phoenix Field and Matson Gymnasium and continued to hone his acumen as a student this year. Now, the study hall carols and shower stalls of Woodhall will be a great deal quieter without him next year, but we thank him for 2 growth-filled and fun-filled years. Good luck at American University next year, and keep in touch. Max Drogan. You okay, Mr. Noonan? Yeah. When I reflect on the impact that this young man from Texas has had on the school community over the past 3 years, I begin to dissociate. He's part Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone and part Chucky from Child's Play. His unofficial maxim was, "It's all fun and games till you lose an eye, then it's just fun." Yet, for all his misdeeds and mayhem, he has grown considerably. Beneath his buckaroo bravado is a young man who evinces insight, sensitivity, and care for his friends and for the adult mentors and school community that has helped him. I will miss his authentic love for and impressive knowledge of nature and the outdoors, his Jack Russell Terrier athleticism, his incisive intelligence, and yes, that mischievous grin and twinkle in his eyes. Go west, young man, to Montana State University, but remember your Woodhall School family back in New England. Here's to Elias. This Tar Heel senior, who is similar in stature to Mr. Marcinek, claims that he is a superior intellectual and physical specimen than Mr. Marcinek. Yet, unlike Mr. Marcinek, an avid gamer himself, this student who had a roommate who forced him to sign an agreement that he would refrain from excessive verbal ejaculations while playing video games. Yes, it's true. He was able to channel this enthusiasm and intensity elsewhere, notably as a dedicated athlete and loyal teammate on Phoenix Field and the wrestling mat. And during his time at Woodhall, he made a good group of friends. And more recently, he's begun to reach out to peers who weren't necessarily in his friend group with understanding and care. That instinct to do so, along with his increased self-awareness, will serve him well in his future. Now, don't forget to go to class amidst all that skiing, fishing, and hiking at Appalachian State next year. We will miss you, and please keep in touch. Congratulations to Finley Cook. This dapper, dilly-dallying dude from Darien has mastered one of the arts that he's been chirping me, his head of school, for 3 years about. He dresses well, but he doesn't really do anything. After 3 years, he finally rested up enough last week to become the fastest student in the school, well, at least in the 100-yard dash. And when he wasn't injured or on his phone, he was a leader on the soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse teams. As a community member, he was affable and approachable to all peers who were struggling. And over the years, he's had his share of success, setbacks, and swerves, but he has emerged a more confident and engaged young man. I will miss his sartorial flair, his sense of humor, and his smile. Good luck at Gettysburg College next year, and don't be a stranger. Charlie Gortel. When he arrived at Woodhall 3 years ago, this young man would share his knowledge of government and politics and history with encyclopedic glee. Known for his verbosity, he would begin each conversation with the entire preamble to the Constitution. Now he just keeps it to "we the people." This year in particular, he talked less and did more. He was an active and committed student leader, one of the go-to admission tour guides, and he got into shape, which bolstered his performance in lacrosse in particular. Although he didn't complete everything on his senior year bucket list, so I'll have to make a short trip next year from Sacred Heart University to produce his version of Hot Ones with the Woodhall faculties. So couldn't you see Mr. Coughlin weeping from super spicy buffalo wings while talking about the Buffalo Bills? Or Mr. Reisman weeping about the Mets and the Jets, which he would do regardless. Since this young man stays current with politics, let me paraphrase a certain presidential candidate's recent speech at the Gettysburg battlefield. Aidan McKee, wow. Thank you for giving back to Woodhall, Aiden McKee. Everything is up for debate with this sophomore from North Carolina. His predilection for petulant patter reminds me of the old Phyllis Diller line, "Don't go to bed mad, stay up and fight." Yet this truculent teen transferred his tenacity into his practice and play as a soccer and lacrosse goalie on Phoenix Field and as a basketball player in Matson Gymnasium. Through his participation in sports and in the communications program, he's been introduced to the value of perspective taking and flexible thinking. We wish him a productive and positive summer and look forward to his continued growth next year. Max Korenstein. Earlier this year, this sophomore from Hartford went viral. Well, at least in the study hall. Fortunately, he turned his attention from the cyber world to the real world. He was a force to be reckoned with as a Phoenix grappler, and then in the spring, he mustered the courage to perform in Clue with hilarious results. The determination and focus that he demonstrated in his co-curricular endeavors translated to his academic and personal growth. And I look forward to what he has to offer as a student leader in September. Keep up the good work, and I'll see you in the campus gardens this summer. Jacob Gottfried. Contrary to popular opinion, this junior from South Carolina was not typecast when he portrayed Yvette, the French maid, in Clue. If he really had the qualities of a maid, then he would pass room inspection more consistently. Although speaking of a whodunit or who didn't done it, some have said that this student was involved in the not-so-mysterious disappearance of the student who played juror number 4 in 12 Angry Men. All in all, this gentleman of Woodhall gave some memorable performances on stage, in the dining hall, and in the dorm this year, connecting with peers and adult mentors alike. We wish him a restful and productive summer, and we'll wait to see what's in store for his senior year. Walter Montgomery. This young man from the Pacific Northwest definitely showed off his ice earlier in the school year. His knowledge of hip-hop and alien conspiracy theories is impressive. In fact, he has heard from respected sources that the Woodhall School campus is considered to be the Area 51 of New England. During his first year, this student has learned to trust and listen with the help of adult mentors and peers who genuinely enjoy his company. And his contributions to Caden's Senior Suite Bible study have become the stuff of Woodhall lore. Building on that, he can expect an even more rewarding second year at Woodhall. Will Comer. This fuzzy Frisco kid seems to always have a 5 o'clock shadow at 10 in the morning. He gets away with not shaving because he bribed the head of school with the best donuts in San Francisco, and he turned the name of the assistant head of school into a verb. That's right, you've been skulked. After his bravura performance as the foreman in 12 Angry Men, this budding thespian thought he'd be behind the scenes again as stage manager for the spring play. And then, just like that, who knew you could catch a late-night bus from Bethlehem to Washington, D.C.? He was vaulted into a lead ensemble role in Clue, which he executed with aplomb. Next year, he will take on 2 very important roles, DM for a new Dungeons & Dragons campaign and student leader, except you don't need a 14-sided die to be a student leader. Have a 20 now? Okay. Have a foggy-filled summer jaywalking in the city by the bay, and we'll see you in September. Jay Medeiros. This sophomore lives nearby Boston, one of the oldest seaports in the country, which is perhaps where he developed his fondness for sea shanties. In his honor, I was going to rework the lyrics to What Shall We Do with a Drunken Sailor, starting with What Shall We Do with the iPad-addled Student, but it didn't really scan. Fortunately, this young man put down his iPad long enough to give 2 memorable performances in 12 Angry Men and Clue, and it's so affirming to see this young man step outside of his comfort zone and grow in confidence and engagement. Have a fun summer, and we'll see you in September for your junior year, Huck Novotny. You got enough water there, Charlie? Yeah, okay. All right. This senior is the Rip Van Winkle of Woodhull. Apparently, he fell asleep at the first school forum in September of his junior year, and he just woke up for graduation. When he wasn't busy distributing stranger candy or gently tormenting Mr. Noonan, he gave it his all in theater and demonstrated real determination in cross country. He's a dependable and affable member of our school who took his work seriously in his participation in community service. Now, don't forget to pack your alarm clock for your freshman year at Delaware Valley University, and congratulations to Cameron Higgins. Oh, Cam claims that Mr. Noonan gently torments him. Okay, all right. Wasn't aware of that. This cinephile senior, who's known for his movie marathon weekends on campus, is considering studying film in college, where apparently he plans to do a combo remake of 2 of last year's summer blockbusters, starring Mr. Kavakis as a tortured yet brilliant scientist and Bailey as a canine Barbie. This young man has had a transformative 3 years at Woodhull, culminating not only in his dedication to helping the community as a student leader, but also in his significant contributions to the theater program. Now, with a nod to his favorite band, Pink Floyd, you could say that when he started at Woodhull, he thought he had landed on the dark side of the moon and asked, "Is anybody out there?" And then he wanted to run like hell, believing if he stayed there, it would lead to brain damage. He expected Woodhull was going to be an us and them situation with teachers and students, and at first, every day felt like he was putting another brick in the wall. Then he began to breathe. He went from sorrow to feeling comfortably numb, and then he began to lean into the communications process, where strengthening relationships and building confidence felt as exhilarating as learning to fly. Now he has high hopes, and the happiest days of his life are ahead of him. Good luck at Trinity College, but know we will miss you. So don't be surprised if you get a postcard from Woodhull that says, "Wish you were here." Hayes Talbot. Shakespeare wrote, "Brevity is the soul of wit," except this senior from New York is never brief. Reflecting on this young man's 3.5 years at Woodhull, or 4 if you talk to him, I thought, where to begin, and also, when will it end? With his experience of treading the boards on the Woodhull stage, he knows how to make an entrance. In fact, you can usually hear him coming before you see him. Now, Woodhull has been kind of second home for this young man, and home is where we can take things for granted and at the same time be most grateful. A good play needs no epilogue, and he's about to begin his next act. So to conflate some lines from The Tempest, as you enter the brave new world that has such people in it, whether at NYU or elsewhere, remember to make the most of what you give and what you receive, for we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. We bid you adieu. Judah Rosner.
It's been real, y'all.
All right, we're rounding out this triplet of seniors from New York City. I want to make sure this young man can hear me because for most of the year during the class day, he had his earbuds underneath his curly long locks. I have to admit, I enjoyed listening to the soundtrack of his days. He has the most eclectic and sophisticated taste in music of all the Woodhall students that I've known in almost 20 years. He recently put his musical talents to good use in the new recording studio with his original composition, the reggae-inspired tribute to Mr. Funsak. Exactly. I'm seriously considering making it the official school song. You are a happier, more connected, and engaged person than when you arrived at Woodhall. I look forward to hearing about your adventures, musical and otherwise, at Lawrence University. Let's hear it for Campbell Rivera. He has the best lax bro flow. Yet, unlike Samson, if you cut his hair, he doesn't lose his strength, whether the strength he's built from lifting weights or the strength he's developed from reconciliation and accountability. He's made some important friendships with peers and connections with adult mentors during his 3 years at Woodhall. Yes, he has scored a lot of goals in soccer and lacrosse, but what stands out for me is the sight of Luke running off the bench in a soccer game this fall to go out onto the field and give a congratulatory hug to Varick, who just scored his first goal in a Woodhall soccer game. That was probably Luke's best assist of his Woodhall career. Luke, I never got to share with you my Grateful Dead Spotify mix, so I will leave you with these lyrics. There is a road, no simple highway, between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. The path is for your steps alone. That being said, you have a lot of family, friends, and mentors rooting for your continued growth and success at Kimball Union Academy. Luke Budavas. I'm all for a definitive style of dressing, but no one can match this senior when he wears all red or all green from head to toe. Maybe he wears all green for his love of the green of a baseball field and red for the scarlet, red, white, and blue of his beloved Washington Nationals. It is refreshing that this young man has such a passion for America's pastime, perhaps recalling a time before internet and social media, although the student has spent his fair share of time on his computer and his phone. A Hershey's Kiss or some time with one of the campus dogs will always put a smile on this young man's face. And he has made some progress in all areas of his life during his time at Woodhall. There were some home runs, several strikeouts, a few RBIs, and a stolen base or two. Although your journey is far from over, life's swings and misses are akin to baseball batting averages. Baseball, like life, is hard work. As Ted Williams said, the hardest thing in baseball is to hit a round baseball with a round bat squarely. Remember the lessons you learned from your Woodhall experience, and we'll be there for you whenever and wherever you're at bat. Jonah Ball. Just saying, I didn't need to use the thesaurus for this next one. This phrenic scholar and sedulous composer from Andover, Massachusetts, arrived to our bucolic campus with more than a modicum of apprehension. Initially taciturn and even furtive, he acquired with alacrity a reputation for his allocution in lapidary prose. His syntactical peregrinations at times belied the sagacity, forbearance, and prudence of his actions. Steadfast in his relationship with peers and pedagogues alike, he then emerged as an exemplary polyglot in the performing arts, as evidenced by his recent accolades at the regional secondary school theatrical competition, colloquially referred to as the Halos. Moreover, he was recognized for his potential for leadership in our school community because of, among other qualities and characteristics, his authentic embrace of mellorism. In other words, you done good, kid. Here's to Isaac Dinges. This student never got the chance to sing his singing telegram, but his artistry in designing the posters for the school plays is much appreciated. Now, with the school's 40th anniversary comes an opportunity to refresh the school seal, so I would like to invite this student to redesign the official seal of the Woodhall School, as long as he includes an image of Peter Griffin in it. Have a whale of a time on your trip this summer, and get ready for your senior year. Britton Thomas. It's not every student that can pull off a stunning red dress on stage. Actually, it's only 2 students, this young man and Jay Medeiros. In his performance as Miss Scarlet in Clue, he, quite frankly, gave a damn. It was affirming to see his work productively within an ensemble for the spring play and in 12 Angry Men. After a restorative and productive summer, he has the opportunity in his senior year to lean into that concept of working within a group and relating to and respecting the perspective of others. And I have every confidence he will embrace that opportunity next year. Here's to Jacob Ekman. So this freshman from Greenwich is one of the 2 gingers on campus. As opposed to Mr. Mahoney, though, people actually like him. He's also one of the few new students who arrived at Woodhall knowing how to tie a tie and to do it well. An avid golfer, he has yet to take me up on the challenge of hitting a golf ball across the pond and having it hit the bell on the main circle. His passion for Magic the Gathering is also well known. Inspired by one of his adult mentors, he tried to start a new version of the game called Marcinek the Gathering, except no one showed up. This boy's laugh and smile now occurs daily, and I look forward to what he will contribute to the school community next year. Abbott Cooper. This freshman from Massachusetts imbues many of his actions with an impish charm. For example, flying a drone inside the dorm, taping an elf on the shelf to his remote control car and driving it under occupied bathroom stalls, indulging in his fiendish appetite for Mexican Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A, bumping into furniture while wearing his VR goggles, and having his own sport in the winter term called varsity walking with Mr. McGann. Maybe he gets away with all this because he's emerged as the Ice Spice of Woodhall. To his credit, he's grown in many ways this year, anchored by relationships with adult mentors and now his peer. Thank you for a memorable first year, and try not to get into too much Dennis the Menace mischief this summer. Owen Valema. This sophomore from Connecticut could be mistaken for LARPing as a Warhammer character at some of this season's lacrosse games. To be certain, he's become more settled and engaged over the past 2 years, sharing his refined taste for New Haven-style pizza and forging connections with his teachers and fellow students. Grateful for his experience at Woodhall, he's now headed to Franklin Academy this summer, in September. This gentleman of Woodhall is ready for the young ladies of Franklin Academy. The question is, are they ready for this gentleman of Woodhall? We wish you continued growth and success, and please keep in touch. Ryan Logiadis. I've received several student suggestions for the next capital improvement for the campus: a turf field, air conditioning for the dorms, pickleball courts, and yes, another pavilion. But I might take up the offer from this young man. That's right, he wants a water park at Woodhall School. He's also tried to convince me to take the entire school on a Margarita at Sea paradise cruise. In all seriousness, though, he gets the MIP award this year, given his remarkable growth since he first arrived at Woodhall in September 2022. He's making positive contributions in all areas of school life, and he has become a loyal and dependable friend to some of his peers. Keep up the good work and get ready for your junior year. Varric Shah. He's from Westchester County by way of France and is universally liked and respected in our school community. He's a dedicated student in the classroom, and after finding his footing in outdoor challenge, he went on to honing an unconventional yet effective technique in wrestling and an admirable determination in lacrosse. Along with some other boys, he's ushered in a new style for class dress by buttoning the top button on his polo shirt. This year, he was a fashion trendsetter, and next year, he will be a student leader. Leo, though, I do have one request when you return to school in September. Would you just unbutton the top button? Here's to a successful first year at Woodhall, Leopold Zellner. As befits a student who's headed to Savannah College of Art and Design, this Georgia peach of a guy curated a distinctive personal style, but apparently none of his outfits included a watch, as the art movement most equivalent to his approach to time management would be abstract expressionism. Regardless, he's developed other important skills and insights during his time at Woodhall, an easygoing and amiable presence in our community. He's the only student to have run the 2-mile loop with me in the pouring rain. We wish him continued progress and fulfillment in all his endeavors. Congratulations to Alan Soshnick. Early this term, I was walking around campus with Paul Belat, and he was telling me about his summer job as a camp counselor. He was looking forward to it, but he told me, you know, Mr. Woodhall, little kids are fun, but they can be really impulsive and say stuff without thinking. He paused, smirked, and replied, I know, I should be one to talk. And talk he does, and his filter is often absent. In Phoenix athletics, however, he brought a swift focus in soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse. And in the dorm, he had a rare hat trick with roommates this school year, learning some important lessons and developing an increased self-awareness along the way. So Paul, don't let those ankle biters and whippersnappers get the better of you this summer, and we'll see you for your senior year. Paul Belat. You're welcome. See you next year. In September, we unveiled the new and now iconic banners for the school's 40th anniversary, which featured this senior's exceptional artwork. And since then, he's been resting on his laurels. More accurate, though, he's been lounging rather sardonically in the senior suite. George Carlin had a line about what lies beneath when you scratch a cynic, yet beneath this young man's sarcastic posturing, which can be quite funny, lies a talented artist, a deft athlete, and a creative, bright mind, all of which has been nurtured and celebrated by the connections he's made at Woodhall. Now, as promised, Charlie, I'm not going to say anything about the puzzle, except I just did. So when you're in New Hampshire next year, don't take it for granted. Good luck and keep in touch. Congratulations to Charlie Jones. This Michigan lad made the journey eastward this September, not knowing really what to expect at his new school, but it wasn't as heavy a lift as he thought. He discovered that some of the other students shared his passion for weightlifting, and thanks to Luke Budavas and this young man, we have never had so many students using the weight room in the space's 20-year history. He enjoyed a genuine camaraderie with a variety of students, and he keeps his tower suite mates in line too. It's been affirming to see this young man find his voice in the community, and I look forward to working with him in student leadership next year. Let's hear it for Wes Iyer. Recently, the senior from Dickerson, Maryland, the greatest city on earth, presented an impressive original presentation on an alternate history of the United States. In his honor, I would like to offer a preview of an alternate history of the Woodhall School, in which the inmates, for the most part, are running the asylum. French Hall is now a girls' dorm. Corn dogs and ramen noodles are served daily in the dining hall. Charlie Gortel and Theo Graff are the co-directors of athletics, and the students play mini golf on the new turf field. And esports is the most popular sports offering at school. Mr. Terry teaches a mindfulness MMA class. Mr. Noonan offers an elective on how to lower student self-esteem. And Judah Rosner has transformed theater at Woodhall into a burlesque show. Chip Cowan, big surprise, is the IT director, ensuring that students have unfettered access to the fastest Wi-Fi in Connecticut. Senor Booth is director of admission. Sammy Stratemeyer is director of advancement. Floppy the cat is the new director of security. And Elias is dean of students. Miss Skolsky's sole responsibility is to organize and chaperone student trips to professional and collegiate sporting events, and I happily and gratefully am in charge of grounds. Who's the head of school, you ask? Caden Miller. Das Vidania, okay. You're going to bring this to Lafayette next year? Okay. After 3 years of various sports-related injuries, this senior would do well to go around campus at all times in a giant gerbil ball. He has given his all and then some in soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse, and he has developed an inner strength to deal with setbacks and to support his team, his teammates, and the school, even when he wasn't able to play. More importantly, he's developed a close group of friends and created a lifetime of memories. A helpful tip, though, don't plan to TP the campus as part of the senior year prank if rain is in the forecast. I will miss seeing him on his walks up the driveway, as it was a reassuring way for me to measure the rhythms of the school day. Somehow, though, I think I'll see him on campus again soon. Have fun and stay injury-free at Western New England University. Dalton Cronin. A lot of people don't know that the P in JP's name actually stands for pavilion. That's right, when this wry young man isn't dominating the basketball court or doing Mr. Funsock impressions, he's promulgating rumors about the new pavilion, that it was a vanity project for Mr. Woodhall and was actually a shell capital improvement for another shell project, the Gaga Pit. He's grown significantly in 3 years, and not just in height. We will indeed miss him when he heads off to Salisbury School next year, but that school's just a ways up the road, and he's still very much part of the Woodhall School family. And JP, Salisbury is a great school. They've got an impressive campus with a hockey rink and turf fields and fancy science labs, but you know what they don't have? A pavilion. We wish you all the best, and please stay in touch. JP Larkin. If there's any boy that doesn't need more coffee, it's this 10th grader from New Jersey. And when he's not drinking coffees, he's hitting me up for Hershey Kisses. So Sammy, I will be sending you a bill for $438.27 for all the Hershey Kisses that you took from my office. Sugar and caffeine aside, Speedy Sammy's energy is seemingly boundless. And it was a pleasure to see him run, wrestle, check, catch, cradle, and run some more in sports this year. In other school areas of school life, he's learning how to practice patience and tolerance as a community member. And so, Sammy, in honor of the successful completion of your first year, I was going to present you with a watch, but I heard you already got one. Stay safe on your scooter this summer, and we'll see you in September. Sammy Stratemeyer. Like many of our students, this sophomore from Massachusetts comes off like a middle-aged man from another era. as evidenced by his encyclopedic knowledge of all things automotive. Although he knows more about cars than any middle-aged man I know. He has a particular fondness for GM sedans from the late 80s and early 90s, which no one in the late 80s or 90s liked to begin with. This year, he's learning to put down his phone with its myriad photos of cars and connect with his peers in person, particularly this spring with weekend activities and outdoor challenge. The structure and support has served him well in his first year because we know, to quote the current advertising Sloan from Buick, he's exceptional by design. More importantly, though, to cite an ad line for the 1970 Buick Skylark, I think he knows at Woodhall we feel he's something to believe in. Have fun cruising in your 2008 Toyota Sienna minivan this summer and get ready to engage in your junior year. Hayden Geischecker.
Yeah, good car.
This tech genius from Alabama is the only student I know who's used all the technology from my youth, the Atari 2600, Commodore 64, the Apple IIe, but I got him when he admitted he never watched a movie on a Betamax cassette. Despite some pitfalls and rabbit holes with technology, like when he posted the Woodhall School for sale on the dark web, and then there was something about pythons eating blackbud, I don't know. More often than not, he was using his talents to help the community and connect with others, as with his achievements in technical theater and lighting design over the past couple years. You've been a loyal friend and a valued member of the Woodhall School community. Send us a text, or better yet, write us a letter from Champaign College in Burlington next year. Congratulations to Chip Cowan. This senior from Indiana was definitely typed against cast when in the Woodhall Spirit Week movie, he was cast as the mild inconveniencer. Besides abducting frogs from the pond and barricading the courtyard with fallen trees during senior year prank, he has been one of the most helpful and thoughtful students in the school. Although it was most rewarding to get this young man to flash his winsome smile with some good-natured ribbing or gentle mischief. He authentically and earnestly embraced the role of student leader and worked to improve the school culture and help individual students, all the while gaining in confidence himself. It's been a remarkable 2 years of growth and contributions. We will miss you and wish you continued success at Mansfield Hall in Madison and beyond. Luke Fisher. A bag of flaming hot Cheetos followed by a virulent stomach bug. That's one way to leave your mark on the school. The thing is, the stain on the carpet outside his French Hall dorm room kind of matches his hair. Usually, though, this avid baker was baking cookies and other sweet treats, much to the delight of the stomachs of his classmates and teachers. He's been a steadfast presence in the classroom, and he served the community in his own quiet yet consistent way. Enjoy the warm and sunny weather at the University of Redlands, but don't forget your time at Woodhall. Congratulations to Evan Myrie. Usually this 10th grader will tap me on the shoulder and say, "Guess what? Chicken butt." But I know it's a sign of love and respect. And when I call him into my office to remind him that he's a disappointment, it's a sign of love and respect. His wonderfully warped sense of humor, mismatched socks, obsessions with metal music and video games are all welcome at the Woodhall School. Whether or not his dorm parents enjoyed his lights-out antics with Henry and Grayson earlier in the school year is another matter. If you really want to get him going, though, ask him who's a better Magic player, he or Abbott. He's had a positive first year. He's more grounded, more connected, and dare I say, happier. Sending love and respect to Theo Graff. With his tropical-themed shirt and winning smile, this young man would usually brighten up the study hall during morning meetings. He demonstrated himself to be a dedicated athlete in Phoenix soccer, basketball, and lacrosse, and as a first-year student who committed himself to the communications process, and he displayed real courage and insight. Modeling that process next year will be particularly important with so many new students coming in. I'm looking forward to what he'll bring to the student leadership group and the community next year. In the meantime, enjoy the summer months and relax a little bit after a job well done. Grayson DeCourcy. This young man made school history this year with his brother, because for the first time in the history of the Woodhall School, we have two brothers attending the school at the same time. They shared the stage together twice, but it was only in the spring term when they finally got a clue. Rest assured, he struck out on his own. He enjoyed the camaraderie of French Hall, entertained his peers and teachers with his sly wit, climbed trees with the dexterity and daring do of a tree squirrel, and he's the only student we've ever had who can do multiple pull-ups with his fingers. Enjoy the summer with Walter and your entire family. Here's to your first fun and productive year, Henry Montgomery. And there we are. Just want to pause and take a moment to recognize some important members of the community. First, we have some of our trustees here, Sue Moline, board chair, Katie Sternberg, and Gabby Flanagan. We also have founding head of school, Sally Woodhall. Hi, Mom. And alumni, yes, please. It's kind of hard to see. So alumni, if you're not standing already, I'm going to try and get everybody here. We got, don't even make me remember your class year. So we got Max Krafsow, Sean Finnegan, Ben Kelly, Zach Blair, Jack Wells, Matt Olberg. Where else are you guys? Oh, wait, hey, Noah Greenfield. And Henry, how are you? And, Jason Barrett. Oh, Tenzin. And, of course, Gabriel Hissler. Welcome back, gentlemen. And I want to take a moment of serious thanks and thank my colleagues who day in, day out serve the Woodhall School and nurture the gentlemen of Woodhall. The work that they do is truly a calling. And so as I say your name, colleagues, please stand. Please note I'm going to name off the staff too, a number of whom aren't here, whether they're helping out in nursing or in the dining hall, but nonetheless, their names need to be heard and recognized. Sasha Skolsky. So, yeah, you deserve your own applause, but let's hold applause until the end because we'd be here for a while. But I mean, you want to give her another round of applause, though? Seriously. And he wants his own applause, but he's not going to get it. Senor Booth, Jared Booth. Alexander Kavakas, Timothy Coughlin, Simon Cully, Edward Geltsizer, Alden Mahoney, Timothy Marcinek, Porig McGann, Orla Mokriski Schley, David Ing, Paul Noonan, Tal Peroff, Tashi Funsak, George Charles Reisman, Richard Spalding, Aaron Terry, Nancy Bailey, Velge Hall dining staff, Simone Brown, nursing staff, Joanne Cares, dining hall staff, Jamie Gray, head nurse, William J. Kima, head of physical plant, John Lago, dining hall staff, Priscilla Loomis, director of advancement, Kathy Maloney, head's assistant, Anka Manya, business manager, Marissa Rosa, nursing staff, Jean Rabinski, Velge Hall staff, Leandra Shrepke, administrative coordinator, and last and surely not least, Chef Anita. To all of you, thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like Mr. Coughlin and Mr. Funsock to come forward to present the Academic Book Awards.
Okay. We'll begin with the academic excellence in science. And the book award is given to, or presented to, Aiden Alexander McKee. And academic excellence in mathematics is presented to Evan Sitter Myron.
The award for academic excellence in English goes to Hayes Nicole Talbot. The academic excellence in social science goes to Caden John Miller. The award for excellence in the arts goes to Charles Michael Jones. The award for academic excellence in world languages goes to Cameron Jack Higgins. And the award for overall academic excellence for an underclassman goes to Calvin Huck Novotny. Next, we will do the presenters of the plaque awards. First up will be the Phoenix Award presented by Ms. Skulski.
I own it. The Phoenix Award is given to that student who manifests strong school spirit and the commitment to the helping of others. This student has progressed in many areas during his time at Woodhall. His presence was felt in all 4 pillars of the school: academics, arts and athletics, residential life, and communications. This year, he participated in 2 team sports while also working on costumes for the spring production. By the end of the lacrosse season, he was an integral part of the defensive line, and he was nominated for a Halo Award. He took on the role of lunch maitre d' at the beginning of the year with pride and remained composed while navigating all of the variables and personalities involved. The way he advocated for his crew was admirable. Throughout the year, the student also helped others with confrontations. He was willing to listen to all people involved and to establish a path forward. It was wonderful to see how openly he shared his journey as he clearly articulated the areas he had improved in since starting high school. Several times, he offered to check in with students and ask them thoughtful questions to help them continue their journey of self-reflection. He also did not shy away from difficult conversations and asked for help navigating them when necessary. As a student leader, he regularly modeled engagement, respect, and compassion. He took the time to ask for help, self-reflect, be humble, and understand the perspective of others. We will miss being able to joke with him about his preambles and his desire to build a tiny cannon. We will also miss your perseverance and caring nature. It is my distinct honor to present the Phoenix Award to Aiden Alexander McKee.
The Communications Award is given to that student who has achieved significant growth in skills of self-reflection and self-expression with accountability. When this student first came to Woodhall, Yes. You're giving the Communications Award. I realize that. So we talked about this. I was like, Sasha wrote this, I didn't. So much for communication.
The Communications Award is given to that student who has achieved significant growth in skills of self-reflection, self-expression with accountability. When this student first came to Woodhall, he had a very big heart, but was unable to say no as he wanted all of his peers to like him. At times, he would become defensive and stuck when asked to take accountability for various decisions. As the year continued, he became a student that peers trusted and went to in times of need. Unfortunately, this at times became a burden, and he soon realized that setting boundaries with people is helpful for many reasons. At the beginning of this year, he was able to discuss and ask for help with saying no while not feeling guilty about it. This evolved into being a support for other students and understanding when something was larger than what he could or should handle by himself. During Committee for Accountability and communications groups, he productively confronted students and advocated for what he needed, while clearly expressing how others' actions and decisions impacted him. He was able to see the larger picture and to help other students listen to and understand the perspective of others. Even in the last few weeks of school, the student was able to hold his peers accountable for actions impacting the community. He was able to hear the perspective of his roommate, who wanted to spend more active time with him before graduation. During this conversation, he identified when he got stuck and was able to engage authentically. We will miss your keen eye and desire to help everyone next year. It is my distinct honor to present the Communications Award to Charles Hamner Cowan.
All right. I'd like to invite Tashi Funsak to come forward and give the Sportsmanship Award.
Carl G. Seafried Jr. Award for Sportsmanship is named in honor of Dr. Carl G. Seafried Jr., who served as a science teacher, dean of faculty, director of athletics from 2002 until his retirement in 2014. This award recognizes the student who has embodied the value of Phoenix athletic, sportsmanship, teamwork, dedication, gentlemanly behavior in athletics above all. The recipient of this year's Dr. Carl G. Seafried Jr.'s Award for Sportsmanship is a dedicated and tenacious athlete who demonstrated a remarkable growth, resilience, sportsmanship with both spirit and action. During his 2 years at Woodhall, he participated in soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse team. It has been our pleasure to witness the transformation of this young man. His journey here was not without challenges. Initially, he struggled to express his frustrations with his teammate productively and appropriately on the field or on the wrestling mat during practice. He sat on the hot chair of the Committee for Accountability, had several conversations with coaches and athletic director, which he took to heart. Over time, he has grown into a competent athlete who exemplifies outstanding sportsmanship, characters, and conduct, aligning with the school's ethos and athletic code of conduct. He received the Coaches Award in soccer in 2022 season and Most Improved in Wrestling 2023 and a Coaches Award in Wrestling in 2024. It's my pleasure to present this year's Dr. Carl J. Seafried Jr. Award for Sportsmanship to Finley Davis Cook.
All right, I'm presenting this one, the Arts Award. The Abigail J. Woodhall Award for Excellence in the Arts is named in memory of Miss Abigail J. Woodhall, who served as an arts and humanities teacher and administrator from 1993 until her untimely death in 2005. The award is presented to that student whose interests and accomplishments in the arts, whether visual, performing, or literary, has enriched his own life as well as the lives of others in the school community. This young man arrived as a sophomore, and as with many new students at that time, he was impacted emotionally and socially from the disruption of the pandemic and previous school setbacks. And as with many new students, he was at Woodhall begrudgingly, convinced school at home or his old school or anywhere else would be better. At first, he participated in theater tentatively, overwhelmed by memorizing lines and having to work with others. Yet it was through his work in 2 ensemble productions that he began to grow as an actor and as a person. In his junior year, with a lead role in The Dumbwaiter, and then with his dazzling Cinderella monologue in a certain fairy tale parody, he displayed his capacity for versatility and risk-taking. At the same time, he was exploring and excelling and learning how to connect with the community members through creative writing and his passion for film. And in his senior year, after another role in a dynamic ensemble production, he was chosen to serve as assistant director in Clue because he had demonstrated the ability and desire to help create the best production, not for himself, but for his peers and adult mentors. Ultimately, all of his explorations in the arts during his time at Woodhall strengthened not only his confidence as a student and as an artist, but also, more importantly, his ability to build relationships with others. This award is named in my sister's memory, and it has a special meaning for me. And so it was with a special joy and gratitude that I present the Abigail J. Woodhall Award for Excellence in the Arts to Hayes Nickel Talbot. The Kenneth E. Chant Award for Significant Progress is named in honor of Mr. Kenneth Chant, who served as a mathematics teacher and administrator from the school's founding in 1983 and until his retirement in 2005. This award recognizes that student who's improved in all areas of personal and academic growth. And actually, Mr. Chant, as one of the founding faculty members of the Woodhall School, sadly, suddenly passed away earlier this school year, just as actually I was reaching him out to him to join us for the 40th anniversary celebration. Flaming out of one school or program or another, this boy, beneath his affability and athleticism, began his time at Woodhall filled with fear and fury. When he misperceived a dynamic or became frustrated or overwhelmed, he would lash out at others. Then, after his outbursts, collapsing into confusion and remorse, he was consumed with a familiar dread that he'd be asked to leave the school for good, that once again, he let himself down. He let his parents down. Yet at Woodhall, we didn't ask him to leave for good because we saw the good, the potential in him. With each struggle and each success, he was met with consistent compassion and gentle humor. He progressed and matured within the structure and support of Woodhall. He made friends, real friends. He was dogged and determined in his studies. He excelled in sports, developing skills as an athlete and patience as a teammate. And with his adult mentors, he felt understood and accepted. Most importantly, he ultimately embraced the communications process, developing, through trial and error, coping skills that worked for him. In his senior year, he proved an earnest and enthusiastic student leader. Bolstered by college acceptances, he was able to reconcile disappointment as an athlete when faced with injuries. In that way, he evinced genuine growth and embodied one of the characteristics of a gentleman of Woodhall. It's not how you deal with success, but how you deal with setbacks. with affection and pride, I present the Kenneth E. Chant Award for Significant Progress to Dalton Brian Cronin. I'd like Mr. Coughlin to come forward and present the Dorothy Peirce Award for Significant Academic Achievement.
The Dorothy L. Peirce Award for Significant Academic Achievement is named in memory of Mrs. Dorothy Peirce, who served as an English teacher and assistant head of school from 1992 to 1997. The award is given to that student who has not only demonstrated a high level of academic achievement, but has also developed a genuine intellectual curiosity. When I was younger, teachers stressed the idea that we'd not always have a calculator with us. That maxim was already outdated by the time these graduates were born. But even prior to the expiration of that ultimatum, there were always inquisitive geniuses around, people like this young man. He's the type of person who seemingly knows everything about everything. And while calculators on phones seem ubiquitous today and Google and Wikipedia are readily accessible, when access to Wi-Fi or World Book encyclopedias are out of reach, this year's winner is the type of intellect who those seeking answers would turn. Rather than rest on his laurels and his talents alone, the student has increased the academic rigor of his course load each year. Prior to his time at Woodhall, he had already taken an advanced placement course as a freshman. Perhaps strengthened by the length of his hair like a biblical Samson, in each year thereafter, he took an additional AP course. As a sophomore, he took 2, AP Bio and AP Calculus AB. In a junior, he had 3 such classes, AP Physics, AP Calculus BC, all right, and AP Government and Politics. Not being one looking to coast as a senior, he then decided to take 4 his senior year, AP US History, AP Language and Composition, AP Chemistry, and we even had to implement a whole new math class for him, AP Statistics, because we were running out of classes for him to take. He has not only risen to the challenge to meet those 10, yes, 10 AP classes, he has thrived, averaging a 4.4 in all of his tests thus far, which has been recognized as an AP Scholar with distinction from the College Board. More so than that, he's also achieved a near-perfect ACT score, putting him in the 99th percentile and earning an exclusive National Merit Scholarship Program letter of accommodation. Adding to those honors, over the course of his time as Woodhall, he has been on the dean's list nearly every term, earned 9 department recognitions in math, science, and, as of yesterday, art, and 5 school-wide overall academic accolades, including this very award. Even with a large senior class, blessed with brilliant minds, from those who can teach lessons on World War II, to those reciting and sometimes recreating the events of world history, to analyzing the most minute scene of a film, to an encyclopedic knowledge of music in past and present, to recounting the events of Norse and Greek myth, to programming, to just about anything about fitness regimens or nature or lemurs and lemmings or contemporary sports. It seemed predestined from this student's arrival on campus 3 years ago that Evan Cedar Myrie was going to win this award. And that is not a knock on any one of those inspiring young minds. It is just much more of a testament to Evan's intrinsic educational curiosity and admirable academic gifts. This fall, Evan brings his many talents to the other coast, traveling to over the flyover country of his home in the Midwest, to arrive in the never cold, never snowy Southern California, where he'll attend the University of Redlands. Being the true Renaissance man he is, in addition to scholarship, he is said to explore a number of clubs when he arrives on campus. My hope, and likely that of his future roommates, is that he also continues to bake as well. Speaking on behalf of all of us on this stage, whether we are fortunate to have you as a student in class, to engage you in conversation at meals, or just to be lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time as a test subject for one of your batches of cookies or brownies, we all wish you the best of luck. Speaking personally, for myself, as an Illinois expat from the northern Illinois suburbs, of some advice to Evan. 1, they call Great America Magic Mountain in California. There is a Portillo's just about an hour away. And Romano's Italian restaurant and Chicago pizzeria may tide you over until break when you get to go back home into Chicagoland. And also, when you get to California, you may be shocked to find that there are more people who use your borderline acceptable hot sauce as you do, and that now everyone puts ranch on everything, and that the banks and the schools may be open the first week of March, even if it's Casimir Pulaski Day. In fact, they might not even know who that is. But if the network is offline and there's no library around, At least they will have the man who knows nearly everything around to ask. So Evan Cedar-Myrie, congratulations on all of your academic achievements, be they past, today's as a recipient of Dorothy L. Pierce Award, or those that you will likely earn in your future. Ever since the moment you arrived in Bethlehem 3 years ago, you have made a significant impact on our academic community, and I have no doubt that that will continue in California. Best of luck to you, Evan Cedar-Myrie.
I'd like to invite Ms. Skolsky to come forward to present the Roy I. Mattson Leadership Award. Did you get 2 books, Evan? Yeah.
Someone gave me 2.
I'll take this one.
No, you gave back the wrong one. Okay, okay. The Roy I. Mattson Leadership Award is named in the honor of Mr. Roy Mattson, who served as president of the board from 1984 to 2002. The award is presented to the student who demonstrates an innate ability to lead others through his own process of self-reflection, self-expression, and accountability. This student has grown immensely in these 3 areas since arriving at Woodhull. He was a solid and quiet presence through much of his first year, making connections and beginning to push past self-doubt. Before applying to be a student leader last year, he asked if he was too quiet to apply. We talked about how leadership takes many forms, and it is not about being the loudest or most demonstrative person in the room. At the beginning of this year, the student found his voice by advocating for what he needed and reflecting on the various choices he made. As the year progressed, he began to confront other students and take much more of an active role in the communications program. He asked insightful questions while sitting on the Committee for Accountability, and he offered help to check in with students who needed support. One of the hardest things to do is confront your friends, especially when they disagree. Yet this student held his friends accountable through care and compassion and had many tough conversations. Even when challenged, he did not waver in his commitment to helping his friends and ultimately the community. Thank you for taking the time to work on your own accountability and then helping others. We will miss you and your leadership next year, and we will also miss your infectious smile. It is my distinct honor to present the Roy I. Mattson Leadership Award to Luke Bradley Fisher.
The Heads Award, the school's highest honor, is given to that student who has endeavored to demonstrate respect, compassion, and integrity in all areas of school life. The student will have achieved success through self-reflection and has displayed growth and an understanding of learning during his time at Woodhull. Unlike many students, this young man, by his own admission, was relatively happy to be at Woodhull from the beginning. But a student doesn't get the Heads Award just because he likes the school. At his previous school, both academically and personally, he was barely treading water and definitely not swimming. At Woodhull, he embraced opportunities to grow in confidence and connectedness. As a student, he encountered teachers who nurtured his intellectual curiosity and challenged him not to rely solely on his considerable verbal acumen. As an athlete, he tried new sports, such as wrestling and lacrosse, pushing himself physically, not always succeeding, but always giving back as a teammate. As a community member, he developed authentic friendships with peers and meaningful relationships with adult mentors. At Woodhull, he could be himself, and no one would tell him he's doing it wrong. Notably, though, he began to move beyond using his appealing and at times acerbic wit as a defense mechanism against emotional intimacy. As such, respectful confrontation did not always come easily for him, but he began to understand that making oneself vulnerable is a strength. As a student leader, he has been conscientious and committed to cutting through cliques and serving all students. Certainly, as with all of us, he is fallible, yet he nonetheless strived to act and speak with the school's core values of integrity, compassion, and respect. I am honored to present the Heads Award to Caden John Miller. Please rise and join me in the singing of Amazing Grace. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd now like to invite Sue Moline, Board Chair, to join me in presenting the diplomas to the class of 2024. Thanks so much. You ready, boys? Jonah Aiden Ball. Luke Matthew Budavas. Elias Saeed Boyd. Finley Davis Cook. Charles Hamner Cowan. Dalton Brian Cronin. And then, in absentia, Owen Marston Danner. Harry Dalton Doherty. Max Eli Drogan. Luke Bradley Fisher. Charles John Gortel. Cameron Jack Higgins. Charles Michael Jones. Aiden Alexander McKee. Caden John Miller. Evan Cedar Myrie. Campbell Boucher Rivera. Judah Daniel Rosner. Alan James Soshnick. Hayes Nickel Talbot. All right, boys, come on forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2024 at the Woodhall School.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome, Aiden. Take a seat, boys. So, another graduation tradition at the Woodhall School. Before we have our recessional, I invite anyone gathered in the assembly to come forward and speak. You get to go first.
Yeah, I'm going first.
She's the boss.
I'm going first. Hi, everybody. I'm Sue Moline. I'm the chair, the very proud chair of the Board of Trustees of the Woodhall School. And on behalf of the board, my colleagues, Katie and Gabby, here with us today, too, I want to say how proud we are of all of you. I think this is the biggest senior class we've ever had, right? I mean, my hand hurts from signing all the diplomas last night. And congratulations to your families. It's very, very significant day, and we're just thrilled for all of you. So, bravo.
I just want to say thank you to my friends and family. One of my family members can't make it, so I said I'd say hi to him while he's watching it on live. So, hi, Uncle Gramps. I did it. Yeah. I want to say thank you to some faculty members, Mr. McCrisky, Mr. Mahoney, and little Timothy. He has a job at Wingstop he's going to, so congratulations. But, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm really happy to be here, and like I really want to thank like a lot of people have helped me here, but like there's one person in particular that's really special to me, Mr. Noonan. I'm not done. Mr. Noonan, thank you so much for always being so supportive towards me. I know I'm on a downward spiral, but like thank you so much for always like being nice to me and like reading Beloved and like Hamlet. It's been pretty cool to like be in class with you and like I like joking around with you about like everything and I want you to think of me when you see someone cannonballing in your pool at 2 a.m. And thanks for everything. People supported me and yeah, thank you.
So my sister's never been to Woodhall before. She's not here right now. But she's watching the live stream from Israel currently on her birthright trip. And Ariel, if you're watching, thank you for being a great sister. And thank you, Tashi. Thank you.
No, Judah's being a gentleman. I noticed that, Judah.
Okay, I have thought of this moment and what I could say, and it is hard to articulate my feelings and emotions. I am incredibly grateful to Charlie's mentors, friends, and the Woodhall community. If I start mentioning all of your names, we will be here till Sunday, and I will be in a puddle of emotion. I appreciate all of you. Over the past 3 years, it has brought me great joy to turn left or right and share stories or seek advice from others without fear of judgment. No words describe how blessed I feel to be part of this incredible community. I am grateful for the people I have met here who have become my family. Please, friends, we need to keep in touch. Thank you to my father and Jan for their incredible support and caring. Thank you to my Bedford peeps who are here today. A special thank you to Christian for always being there for Charlie. Charlie, you are robust and resilient, and I hope you realize this. You are my favorite person in the world. I want you to know how proud of you I am. You are talented, funny, and interested in many things. I love that when we're watching a movie together, I can look over, see your smile, and know everything will be okay. Thank you all so much. I will miss you deeply.
Hello. I'm the redhead nobody likes. Slanderous calumny aside, I wanted to express my deepest gratitude to not only the class of 2024, but to the man who solicited a meeting with me over the internet 4 years ago. It's the only time I can recommend doing that when it works out this well. I have learned to be a better communicator, son, brother, boyfriend, all through the process of working with you gentlemen and with my colleagues here at the Woodhall School, and I am forever indebted to each and every single one of you in this community for the work that you do in helping your sons and supporting us as staff. So thank you very much to all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Rosner, and this is Eric Goldsmith, and we're Judah Rosner's parents. I want to really start by saying what an unbelievable privilege it's been to be part of the Woodhall community over the past 3.5 years when Judah has been a student here. I have been in education all my life, and I have never seen a school that is conducted along such lines of exceptional principle, and yet is infused every day with personal compassion and generosity of spirit. Every time Eric and I leave the Woodhall School, we've visited many, many times, I always say that the world would be a much better place if it could be more Woodhall. And I hope that as we go forward for the rest of our lives, we'll be guided by its spirit. So I'm grateful to really all the faculty and staff here. And then Judah, we are so proud of you. We are so, so proud of you. And when I think about the parts of your transformation at Woodhall, and the thing that lifts me up the most, it is the fact that when you came to Woodhall, in so many ways, I felt you had lost your joy in your life, and you were not proud of yourself, and you were not a joyful learner despite your extraordinary intelligence. And at Woodhall, I feel you found your happiness again, and you are really a loving and happy young man. And I think with that, really almost nothing else matters. You will just be guided by that spirit, and it will open you to others, and you will continue to grow and continue to learn. And I am so grateful that you found your joy again at Woodhall.
Good job. I only have a few words. I love an audience. I want to just start by just saying, of course, echoing the words that Victoria has said, but also just to say special thanks to Matt and Sasha, who really have been just incredible friends to us during these 3.5 years that Judah's been at Woodhall. And really all the teachers and adult mentors who have taught and guided Judah, and frankly me as well. Before starting Woodhall, Judah and I, we didn't have the best relationship. We had conflicts. I mean, I can't understand why he would be unhappy with me coming into his life, sharing a bathroom, sharing his home, sharing his mother. Why would that be a problem? But we did find some times to try to connect and be together, and I cherish those times before Woodhall. I think Judah and I kind of found a little bit of love of skiing together. We went on some great trips, just he and I, and it was the start of our relationship. But he was struggling in school. He was struggling socially, and he was angry at me. My response was, well, we got to be tough. We got to restrict. We got to criticize. And that didn't work, of course. The results were not good. But at Woodhall, he learned through compassion, accountability, the communication program, self-reflection, self-awareness, empathy, and that was the start of the building of our relationship getting better, and me learning about how to be a better father to him. He went to camp. He went to this sleepaway camp, and the motto was so beautiful. It was just be nice and try hard, and that's all you needed to do. But it just didn't seem to work. And why didn't it work? We couldn't figure it out, and it didn't work because Judah wasn't happy. And at Woodhall, he learned how to be happy. He became happy because he learned that the reason why he was so angry is because he was in some pain. He was unhappy. And through the communication program and the Woodhall experience, he's really made some amazing changes, and we all see that. And with that, I really want to send out just incredible thanks to all of the people at Woodhall who have been his adult mentors and teachers, Mr. Marcinek, Noonan, Funstock, Ng, Terry, Mahoney, Colley, McGann, Mr. Reisman, Mr. Coughlin, Mr. Spalding, Mr. G, and all the other teachers and administrators who have been involved in his education, and of course, Chef Anita. Can't forget about Chef Anita, how important she's been for Judah, and for making Judah happy. And now we have times together where we're successful. We have successful times, and it's really, I think, a large part, due to what's the experience has been at Woodhull. For Judah the Jew, I have a special quote. So Noah Feldman, in his new book, What Is It to Be a Jew Today, tells this amazing story that is in the Talmud of Rabbi Hillel. And there's a story that he tells in which a non-Jew approaches Rabbi Hillel and asks the rabbi to make me a Jew, but on one condition. You have to do that, teaching me all the entire Jewish law while I stand on one foot. It was quite a challenge, and the Talmud says that Rabbi Hillel took up the challenge, and he said, I am making you a Jew, and this is what he says to the man. What is hateful to you, do not do to your friend. That is all you need to know. That's the entire law. And I think that's really what it is about Woodhull, just being a friend and taking care of everybody. So now, as Rabbi Hillel said, go study, go to do your rest of your life, be friends, take care of people, and I want to just, again, thank everyone here for being part of Judah's life and our life. Thank you.
So initially, I did have a speech plan for this. Then I realized a phrase I had used the prior year that an alumni praised me for being rather succinct, and that is, life is like jazz, you have to improvise. So, the thing that immediately comes to mind for me in this moment of improvisation is, like with many of you, gratitude. So I would just like to express gratitude to a select few of my peers. I would like to express gratitude for the friendship of Judah Rosner, Chip Cowan, Theo Graff, Varick Shaw, Luke Fisher, and a variety of others that are likely not coming to me right now. But I greatly appreciate all of you, and if you know that you have been a friend to me, then I greatly appreciate all of you. Thank you very, very much.
Hello. First of all, I'll just start by saying thank you to all my family and friends for being here. I'm very happy you guys have been here the whole time. I'll tell you all this later about how grateful I are for your support or whatever. I could also talk about the adult mentors that have meant a lot to me, but again, I've told all of them already, so I'll make this about, I'll get to the point. Last night at the bonfire, there were a lot of moments, but I had like a moment right as I was leaving where I was just like, I went to the STEM lab by the STEM lab and sat down, and I was looking on at all my peers, and I was like, really, 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 like I was very emotional for me. I don't really know why. As you may have heard, when I got here, I wasn't very happy to be here, and I didn't really like it. But last night I had this moment where I was just looking at all of them, and I was so proud and happy to be a part of this group. Every single one of you has grown, and I value every single person in this room, especially the seniors. So just thank you all for being there for me. Thank you all for being fantastic. Congratulations, and you guys are incredible. So thank you.
That's a lot of people. Hi. Something I want to mention is the people. There's a lot of people here, but there's also quite a few people who aren't here today. I want to thank everyone who I've gotten to know over the past couple of years and the relationships I've built, because it's really helped me appreciate the time I have with people and how I can continue to build my relationships with others and really get to know people while I can. Thank you.
All right, I talk a lot, so I'm only gonna give myself 15 seconds. I got you. To my adult mentors who really have been there for me in my lowest moments, you know who you are. Thank you all so much. Eric, you're the greatest father a kid could ever ask for. It doesn't matter if you're my blood or not. And I love you, Mom, and Gabe and Miss Deb and Uncle David and Elizabeth and Lil Benjamin. I love you guys so much.
As much as it pains me to say it, I am going to miss this place. A little bit. Just a tad. Specifically, some individuals such as my roommate, Paul. I love you. And Max Strogan, you were a great friend. I really appreciate your sense of humor, and you've made some bright memories over my past 2 years here. I don't know if I could have done it without you guys. And just to all the returning students from previous years that came back, thanks for supporting me too. I know we haven't had a lot of time together, but the memories made have been nice as well, and I just feel really accepted in the community at this place, so I appreciate everyone here.
And my brother Alex. I'm not gonna forget about you, bro. I love you.
Boys are giving me the look. Ready, Terry? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we will begin our recessional.